So once you're inside of your test site, you're going to want to go to plus new post. And then what you're going to do next is the purple button that is the Divi Builder plugin. You can see sits right above your space to work. So you're going to select that. And then I'm going to insert a column. I'm just going to sort of pick one solid row. Then I'm going to insert a module. The accordion module is the first one in your menu of modules. Then I'm actually going to have to add an element of the accordion. So I select that again. I'm going to give it a title. In our imaginary example here, if we're introducing members of our team, meet person X. And then I just can add whatever content I want to go inside that section of the accordion right there. You can add absolutely anything the same way that you could do in any portfolio post. So I could add an image, and also I can add and I can seamlessly embed any content from YouTube. So if I go to YouTube and I select the URL, all I have to do is copy that URL, paste it back into the text box. So copying the link, pasting the link in, and you'll see here it's just going to seamlessly embed. Great. So if I click save, I'm going to tour you through how you can then go ahead and customize the design. So the little eye there, I can actually look at what my work would look like from a desktop computer, from a tablet, or from a computer. But I want to add in another sort of layer to the accordion so I can check out what the customized settings will actually look like. So I'm just kind of putting some text in there as a placeholder, and you'll see what's nice about the accordion is I can fold information in. By default, it will always have one tab open, but let's go ahead now and customize those and make them look a little bit more interesting. I also just want to show you the 3 lines is where you go in to edit. So once I click design, I can change the icon color. I've got a lot to pick from, and I can also decide that I want to change the level of transparency for each of those colors. I can have the open toggle background color be whatever I'd like, and let me adjust the transparency there. So that means when you've clicked the icon to open up that section of the accordion, it will have its own set background color. I can also change the background color, and I'm picking colors you might notice that are sort of close to one another. That kind of often looks really nice, so that's kind of my rule of thumb is I'll often just pick colors that are close to one another there, and I know that as a color scheme that's going to look fine. I can change the text orientation. And again, I click the eye again to preview and see what that looks like. So as I scroll down, I'm not really seeing anything, but when I click copy, so that second icon over there is just going to copy whatever I've just created. And that's a really nice shortcut. So anytime I create any module, I can just copy it and it will copy over all the settings. So you can see what my adjustments there have done. Anytime I want to go in and edit, it's the 3 lines that I select, and then if I find that the readability isn't great, I might want to adjust the contrast so that it's a little bit easier for the person reading it. Okay, so I like that a little bit better, and I just want to remind you again, if you have adjusted all of the settings in something that you have created, if I get rid of that and I just want to copy the first design, that's what I select, and it's going to copy the settings over, and I would just then adjust the content. If I click preview, now I can see what it looks like from the reader facing view. So often when I'm working with the Divi Builder, I'm going to have the preview tab open, and I'm going to have my editor facing view open. So you might have noticed I've stepped back a few columns because now I can actually adjust the background for that entire block. So I can customize the individual modules, and then I can step back and also change the background. I can select a different background color, see what that looks like. Okay, so maybe I like that, or I'm noticing now the contrast there isn't strong enough and the text isn't going to be super easy to read, so I can change the transparency and that will make it a little bit easier. That's a little bit nicer. Or if I'd like, I can select to have a gradient and I can pick two different colors there. Or another option that I really like is I can have an image as background. I've talked a lot about Pexels, the website, as a great resource, and I like Pexels because all of the images are open use. So you don't have to credit them. So in Pexels, if I search pattern, I can scroll through and I can find a nice background image. And I use this frequently whenever I'm designing with the Divi Builder because like I said, all of the images are open use and they're free. So once I find an image that I would like to use, this one looks great, I select, it's a free download, and I'll save that, and then I can go back and I can upload that to the background and take a look at what that's going to look like. So the other thing that's really interesting is you can animate content that you create using Divi Builder. So the turquoise 3-line row, if I select that to edit and then I go into design, once I scroll down, I can select the type of animation that I would like to use. So animation styles, I'm just going to pick this one, save and exit. I'll go back to my full screen preview. So now that content is actually going to move when I scroll. So I can also change the amount of time that the animation takes. So anyway, there's a lot to play around with. Enjoy your accordion module challenge.